Hi guys, this is Mrs. Young. In this video, I am going to review how to multiply 3-digit by 2-digit using standard algorithm, and we are also going to start working on decimal multiplication. Today we are only going to focus on by whole number only, but starting tomorrow, we will learn how to do decimal by decimal as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down our date. And today is Thursday. The first thing first, I'm going to start with multiplication 3-digit by 2-digit. Let's say I have 503 times, 79. Okay, I am going to estimate first so that I know that my work is reasonable. This is about 500. That is about 80. So if I multiply that, I'm gonna get 40 and then 30,000. So 40,000. So I want to make sure that whatever I do with that multiplication, I want to make sure that it's pretty close to 40,000. So I'm going to do it here. 503 times 79. 3 times 9 is 27. So I'll put 2 and 7. 0 times 9 is a 0. Plus 2 is 2. Notice I don't have anything else to carry over, right? Because it's just 2. 5 times 9 is 45. And I just finished 503 times 9. I didn't even look at that 7. I don't want to get confused. Sometimes if you want to just cover it up, some of my friends like to do like a little bubble thing where you only focus on a 9. That's fine too. And the next thing I'm going to do is this one right here, 70. I want to do 503 times 70. The easiest way to do it is to ignore that this is a 70. It's just a 7, right? So to do that, I need to add a 0 there. So I boxed it for you so you remember that this is a 70, not just 7. 3 times 7 is 21, but 2 is already there, so okay, perfect. And then 0 times 7 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 5 times 7 is 35. I'm going to add them. I got 39,737. Wow, that's really close to estimate, right? So I feel pretty good about my multiplication. Okay, number 2 is going to be a decimal times whole number multiplication. Okay, so the first thing first is, when do we ever use decimal multiplication in real life, right? Or why do we need to learn this? Well, if you think about money, that's the easiest way to think about decimals, right? So if you're walking in a grocery store and you have a bag of chips that you want to purchase, and that was, let's say, $2.50. And let's say I want to buy 5 of them. Well, one thing you can do is adding $2.50 5 times, plus $2.50, plus $2.50. Or you multiply by 5, right? And that's what we're going to do. So in a real life, we use actually a lot of decimal times whole number type of problem. Okay, so the first thing first is we're going to start with number line. Okay, so I have number line like this, and I'm going to ask you to draw that too. And I'm going to write 0 here, and I'm going to write 1 here. And I'm going to have 10 spaces. For me to have a 10 spaces, I need to have 9 lines. Okay, so I'm going to start with that halfway, and then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is 10 spaces. Perfect. So if you are done with that, or if you need more time, please pause the video and then take your time to create a number line. So I've created a number line, and here's a question. Let's say I'm asking you to solve 4 times 2/10, meaning 4 groups of a 2/10. This is going to be like a repeated addition because we're looking for 4 groups of a 2/10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 2/10 first, but notice that between 0 and 1 there's 10 spaces. That means every time you jump is 1/10, right? Because you can think of this one as a 10/10, right? 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, and then you keep going 9/10 and then 10/10, which gives you a 1 whole. So I'm gonna jump 2/10 just like this, and then that's a 1 jump, right? But I need 4 groups of it. So I'm gonna do 4 jumps. 2, 3, 4. This is a 4 groups of a 2/10. This is a 2/10, that's a 2/10, that's a 2/10, and that's 2/10. And I'm landing on 8/10. Do you see that? So I can conclude 4 groups of 2/10 is equal to 2/10 plus 2/10 plus 2/10 plus 2/10, which you already know how to do. We already learned how to add and subtract decimals, equals 8/10. They're all equal, right? Okay, let's try one more number line. This time, let's create 0 to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's say I'm curious about 1 and 5 tenths. Oh, well, how about 3 groups of 1 and 5 tenths? Okay, 3 times 1 and 5 tenths. One thing you can do is to add 1 and 5 tenths 3 times, right? 1 and 5 tenths, 1 and 5 tenths, 1 and 5 tenths. Again, this is almost like a repeated addition, right? It's not almost, it's actually, it is a repeated addition. So I am going to do 1 and 5 tenths. Remember, 5 tenths is right in the middle, right? Because if you have a one flat, if you break right in the middle, it will be a 5 tenths and a 5 tenths, which gives you a 1 whole. Okay? So you have a 1 and 5 tenths, that's one group. But remember, this is 3 groups of a 1 and 5 tenths. So it needs to have a 3 jumps, right? So then I'm going to have a 5 tenths and 1 whole. So that will be 3 for the next group. And I have to have one more. So 1 whole and a 5 tenths. So I'm going to go like this, which is 1 and 5 tenths. Guess where I'll land on? I'll land on 4 and 5 tenths. You see that? So my answer, I can conclude that this is a 4 and 5 tenths. Okay, so number line is good to go. The next thing I want to do is using a base 10 block. My favorite, I told you, I think I said it multiple times in the video. I love base 10 block. So what I have here is a grid. Obviously, I know you don't have this to color from. So it's okay that you can't draw this, and obviously I don't want you to draw this. That would be a lot, right? So let's start with the easy one first. Let's say I am curious about 3 tenths. How about if I want to have 3 groups of 3 tenths, right? 3 times 3 tenths. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think, what is 3 tenths? How do I show 3 tenths? Well, it will be 3 rods, right? Because I told you that this is if the flat is 1 whole, these are rods, and these are hundreds, right? These little tiny things, these are hundreds. So, going back to this, I'm going to show 3 rods in my grid. Again, you guys don't have this, so I understand if you can't do this. But you can just look what I'm doing here. Okay, so that's one group of 3 tenths, but I need 3 groups of 3 tenths. So what I prepared here is that I have a yellow and a pink, and I'm going to alternate the colors to show the different groups. So I'm going to have 3 rods again, and then I want to have another group, right? Because it says 3 groups, not just 2 groups. 1, 2, 3. And notice what happened. Oh, it's so pretty, y'all. And this is going to be 3 tenths plus 3 tenths plus 3 tenths, and that is 9 tenths. As you can see, I have 9 rods total, right? That's perfect. Okay, let's make it a little bit harder, shall we? Okay, so how about if I have 1 and 25 hundredths times 2? Okay, I want to know what 1 and 25 hundredths times 2 is. Or it's the same thing as 2 times 1 and 25 hundredths. So 1 and 25 hundredths, okay, that's 1 whole. And then that's 2 rods, right? Because each rod represents tenths. And then these are the unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a hundredths. 1 whole, 2 tenths, 5 hundredths. If you keep forgetting that, friends, and I always ask my friends to draw this visual out. In fact, you guys, go ahead and all of you guys draw this out. Okay, I like to draw this. So this is 1's place. And this is a tenths place. And this is hundredths place. And in drawing this visual, we'll always remember that this is what it is. And then sometimes, you guys, the flat can be tenths place. And sometimes this rod can be 1's place. You can move it around, but this is going to be most frequently used. And then we're probably going to use that for all this multiplying. Okay? But if it is different, it will tell you that they're using a rod as 1's place. Or they're using a flat as whatever it is. Okay? So let's go ahead and start. I need a 1 flat. Ooh, it's a lot to color. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, that's 1 flat, right? Okay, beautiful drawing, Miss Young. Good job, Miss Young. 2 rods. Okay, rods are a little bit better. And then 5 hundredths. So I'm gonna go 5 hundredths, just like that. Okay, so that's 1 and 25 hundredths. That's one group of a 1 and 25 hundredths. I need another group, right? So I'm gonna take care of that 5 units. So when you're doing this, make sure that you're going off of it, you know, whatever is left over. So don't draw another 1 and 25 hundredths over here. You need to start off of where you left off. Okay? Alright, so that's 5, and then I'm gonna do 2 rods. Well, actually, I can do whole flat. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm counting 10 because I know the 10 rods will make a 1 flat. And then I still have the 2 rods that I need to take care of. So that's what I got. Okay, so I have 1 and 25 hundredths, and I also have a 1 and 25 hundredths. And I see that I can count the rods because I know that I have to have 12 rods, because 10 rods will make a flat that will take care of one's place, and then you have 2 rods because 10th place says 2. My answer is going to be 2 and 50 hundredths. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's one way. And another way to show decimal multiplication is by grouping it. So I'm going to use money this time, and I'm going to use this space. So let's say you have, I don't know, okay, you got 3 groups, and each group has, let's say, $2, $2, and then I have $2, and then let's say I have 3 dimes, and then 3 dimes, and then 3 dimes. And then I have, I don't know, 1 penny, one. Okay, just to make it harder, maybe 4 dimes. Let's make it harder. Okay, let's say you have $2.41 in each group, and you have 3 groups. And to show that in the money, you guys go ahead and draw this out. I know you guys don't have this, but you can also draw this out. So you have 3 circles, and each circle, I want you to draw a dollar sign, $2 sign, which represent $2. Okay, and then you're gonna have to draw 4 dimes, which will have 10 cents. I'm just gonna put 10 there so that you know it means dime. And then 1 penny for each thing. So 10, 10, 10, 10, 1. 10, 10, 10, 10, 1. So as you can see, you got 3 groups of $2.41. So I'm going to do 3 times $2.41. What is going to happen? Well, let's count. Okay, when you're doing this, you always want to count from the smallest value and work your way up. Okay, you don't want to start with the big one and then work your way down. So I'm going to draw this out again. And remember, this is a $1, this is a dime, and this is a penny, right? So remember that. So 1 unit, one little tiny thing, is equal to 1 cent, which is equal to 1 penny. 1 rod is equal to a 1 dime, which is a 10th place. And then 1 flat is equal to a $1. Okay, so that kind of corresponds with the place value there. So $2.41. Let's count how many pennies there are. So there's 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 pennies. Let's count how many dimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, there are 12 dimes. Can we possibly put 12 there? That can't happen, right? So I do know that if I have 10 dimes, that will make a $1. So I am going to put plus 1, 2. I'm regrouping. I'm carrying that number over so that I can calculate that. Okay, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6 plus 1 would be 7. My answer is $7.23. Do you see how I got there? I regroup just like how you will regroup normal numbers. Okay, I want to do one more, guys. One more. I promise that this is going to be one more. So what if I have a base 10 block this time? I'm going to just draw this out. And you are drawing too, friends. You're drawing too. Let's make it harder. How about we have multiple flats? Okay, so let's say you have 3 flats in each thing. So draw this out. So bigger square. Okay, let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4 rods in each thing. Okay. And let's say you have 300 in each thing, 3 units. So tiny square, 3 of them. And be sure to do that for all of those things. So as you can see, there are 4 groups of equal amount, and each amount is 3 flats, 4 rods, and 3 units. So I am going to write down my equation. I see that there's 4 groups. I'm going to write down 4 times 4 groups of $3.43 if it was with money, but this is a base 10 block, so I'm going to write down 3 and 43 hundredths. If you're not so sure where 3 and 43 hundredths is coming from, I'm talking about each of those things is 3 and 43 hundredths. There are 4 groups, and that's where my equation is coming from. And then you're going to, again, for the 3rd time, drawing this out. Again, flat meaning 1's place, rod meaning 10's place, little unit means 100's place. So then it will be, let's go ahead and count. How about that? 300ths, 300ths, 300, 300ths. So that is, 3 times 4 is 12, right? 12 units. Obviously, we can't put 12 there. We can only put one number in one place, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry over 1, and I'm going to put 2 there. Do you see a 12? Because 10 of those little tiny units will make 1 rod. Do you agree? 10 of those. If you look at the grid, 10 of those will make 1 rod. Okay, so let's go count the rods. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 rods, but plus 1 is 17. Okay, and a plus 1. And then I have flets. 3. There's a 12 flets, which makes 12 holes, plus 1 is 13. And in this case, you may think, okay, Mr. Young, you told me you can't write 2 things, but I don't have any spaces, so I'm just going to carry over. So 13 and 72 hundredths is my answer to this question. And you, of course, can add 3 and 43 hundredths 4 times if you would like to. But multiplication and showing and counting this will make it a lot faster. Do you agree? Alright, hope this helps. Bye guys.